Welcome back to the Gentleman Juggcast. I'm Gentleman Jugg.
And Son's here too.
Hey, all right. So we got another one for you today, or this week, I guess.
This week.
And what's that one?
That's Black Widow.
Yeah. Decided to go ahead and do the damn thing and watch this fucking movie.
Yep.
And I got a lot to say about this movie.
And I got some thoughts to share.
Yeah. But first, what are we talking about?
World Wrestling.
You didn't bring as much intensity.
Okay.
Try one, take two.
World Wrestling.
That's a little bit better. Just a little bit. Okay, so hey, last week's Raw, last week's SmackDown. What'd you got for me, boy?
Well, last week's Raw actually started off interesting.
Okay.
With Bobby Lashley and Big E, because after Money in the Bank, they said they were going to fight on Raw for the title. So that's how the show started.
Wait, what was the pay-per-view?
Not Money in the Bank. Extreme Rules. At
Extreme Rules. Okay.
Extremeless Rules.
Extremeless Rules. Yeah.
They said
less extreme.
Yeah, they said they were going to fight for the title on Raw. So that's what they were doing. And then it got interrupted because, that's when we saw the Hurt Business come out.
Yeah, the Hurt Business.
Wearing the Hurt Business shirts.
Like, what the fuck?
Like, oh, hey, we're back now.
Yeah. Now that MVP's not here, we can do stuff. I'm like, what? Why?
So then the New Day show up, and then, you know what happens every time there's a bunch of people in the ring. There's just, an all-out brawl until someone comes down and is like, no, it's not going to end like this.
Yeah, that's someone being Adam Pearce. Whatever.
I don't know. He was yelling pretty loud. He's like, no.
Was he upset?
I guess. He's like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to see this match again. We're going to have it finish again tonight in the steel cage.
I mean, look, I like a steel cage match as much as the next person, but I was not hyped for this.
No.
I don't know why I wasn't hyped. I like Bobby Lashley. I like Big E.
Just like,
I like them both. I like the Hurt Business. I like New Day. I don't know why I didn't give a fuck.
I was just kind of like, oh, okay.
I didn't even care at all remotely. I was like, okay. I didn't care. I did not care, and that upsets me that I didn't care because I do like all these guys, but it is what it is. I just didn't care. Keep going, boy.
Then obviously there was no Alexa Bliss, so no swing and no.
I mean, I'm so heartbroken. I don't. Once again, I like Alexa Bliss. I think that she got dealt a shitty hand with this fucking, character that she's playing.
Yeah.
And I just realized that I don't care.
Nope.
I mean, hopefully she comes back as somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they can make it creepier. It's not as creepy as I think that something like this character should warrant. And I think a big part of it is the fucking doll.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now that they've gotten rid of it, it's like this character really should be creepy. Like the Fiend, I was creeped out by this cat. He gave off the perfect creep factor, that was akin to the Undertaker, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then he got destroyed.
Yeah. So now it's like, whatever.
I don't know. To me, this feels like Fiend, but like with a doll.
It doesn't feel like the Fiend at all, in my opinion. It doesn't it's like the Demon King Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Is he the Demon King or is it the Demon?
I don't know. They called him the Demon Prince and the Demon King, and now it's just the Demon.
Okay. Well, I mean, like what they did with the Fiend, which they kind of for some reason stopped doing later on toward the end, was they didn't give you the Fiend as much as you wanted him.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you barely got the Fiend,
which I think kind of helped him, actually.
Yeah. it's like I just want some more of the Fiend. I want that awesome music. I want that character. I want the freaking head with the lantern thing. I want all that shit. But, and they did the right thing in the beginning with the Fiend. They didn't give me a whole lot of the Fiend. And I was like, I want more of that Fiend. And then they fucked it up.
And they gave you too much.
They gave me too much Fiend. And then it wasn't special anymore. And it's the same thing with, Finn Balor is still kind of like, he doesn't really throw out the demon very often.
Yeah.
But when he does, I'm like, I want to see that shit.
And then he did this time. The demon got killed.
The demon got exorcised.
By what they call the exorcist.
Yeah. Roman Reigns. So
if you ever have like a ghost or something, just call Roman Reigns.
He'll exorcise that demon. But like I said, it's I hope Alexa Bliss comes back. If she's gonna keep this type of character, then make it creepier, make it better.
Yeah.
It felt stupid to me, and I'm looking at it like it's not for me, and I'd like it to be for me, but it just isn't.
It's not for me.
But whatever. What else you got?
Well, I'm pretty sure Charlotte Flair was on the show, right? And she was just kind of doing stuff.
Yeah, she was doing shit, fine. And then Shayna Baszler came out, and I guess she's going to start breaking people's arms now.
Yep.
So, there that is.
Yeah, it's funny. Like when Becky Lynch left, that's when she started breaking arms. Now that she's back, she's breaking arms again.
Yeah. So, Shayna Baszler's breaking people's arms. She broke Eva Marie's arm, and people cheered on that one, which I'm like,
Yeah. Well,
maybe that ought to let Eva Marie, that this profession isn't for you. So
yeah.
The people do not like you. They like another heel, Shayna Baszler. She's, as far as I can tell, she's supposed to be a heel, and they're cheering her because she broke another heel's arm. Who was supposed to be. I thought Eva Marie was going to come back and fucking just blow our socks off, or whatever fucking stereotypical phrase it is for excitement or surprise. She
said she was like, I'm going to give you the evolution.
And I just de-evolution, I guess. It's just look, I'm sorry. That was awful. You're better than that, Jug. You're better than that. Okay. I'll think of something. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Maybe I'll figure it out by the end of the podcast. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, it's awful. What else you got?
I know that RK Bro is there, but my problem with Raw is I just never remember what really happens. Even though I actually tried to watch the full episode on like Hulu, and I still don't remember anything that happened.
With RK Bro?
Yeah.
As far as I can tell, the people like them. They come out, they do their stuff every so often. I don't think Randy was there this week.
No.
So Riddle came out and he fought AJ Styles, which I like them both. They do good matches in my opinion.
Yeah.
So what else? It's
he kind of just has to keep. They just kind of have to keep fighting Omos Styles because there is no one else.
I think that Omos needs to break away from AJ. I really do.
Yeah.
I think AJ needs to be his own guy, and Omos needs to be his own guy.
Yeah.
Omos is going to be portrayed as the new giant. We don't have Braun anymore. We don't have Big Show anymore.
We don't have Mark Henry.
We don't have anybody. Well, Mark Henry wasn't really a giant, but he was a big dude.
Yeah.
World's strongest man. But we don't have any of these guys. They just, we got Omos, and he seems to be the biggest, most threatening giant I've seen in a long time.
And one time he dressed up as a ninja.
That was him.
And
that was him. Then he was a bouncer at fucking Raw Underground.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I'm not upset by it. It is what it is. I don't care.
It's like he probably could do something interesting on his own.
Yeah. I know why they got him with AJ.
Yeah.
They got him there so that way he can kind of like learn more of the ropes and shit like that. And I'm sure AJ's a good teacher. I'm sure he can do it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
What else you got?
I mean, that's really all I really remember from Raw.
Well, there was the I almost said Hell in a Cell. There was the cage match with Big E and Bobby Lashley, and I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
I thought it was excellent. I mean, it wasn't that 100% no interrupted battle because the
No.
Hurt Business came out, and then the New Day came out after that. During this battle,
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't affect the match too much. I mean, Big E was probably going to win when he climbed out of the cage, but then the Hurt Business came out, and yeah, it is stupid, but it's like,
He won.
yeah, he won. As the end of story, he won.
So
And my thing about cage matches is what I don't like. I like the stipulation of you have to climb out of the cage or pin somebody in the ring. And
Yeah.
a lot of the times it's like the person is down. Why are you trying to escape? Get out of the ring. In my opinion, it's always walk out the front door.
Yeah.
It's there for a reason. Why are you going to exert yourself to sit there and freaking climb out of the cage? But it makes things more dramatic. Now, if they didn't have that door, then I'd be like, okay, that makes sense.
Well, it's like I think like just get rid of the door because
Yeah, get rid of the door and just bring a cage down.
yeah, then when the match is over, they don't have to walk out the door, just raise the cage back up.
Yeah.
It's like that way it makes sense while they're climbing. Because if it was me, I'm like, I'm just gonna knock them down and run out their door.
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna run out the door.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'm beginning to think that I'm seeing too many freaking WWE Championship matches on Raw.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like at Crown Jewel. Big E is going to fight. What's it called? Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. But after this match, we had Drew McIntyre walk out and he like pointed his sword at him.
Yeah. Well, when you watch the next SmackDown, it's like, well, nope.
He's like, all right, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna stop fighting Jinder Mahal. I'm gonna do something.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna get the title back. It's gonna happen.
I mean, look, if they really want to shake things up, then freaking, like freaking have Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley and Big E fight for the championship, then Drew McIntyre can win. No, that's stupid. That's stupid. No. Just do what you were doing. You're fine. You're fine. So SmackDown comes on, and I guess it's the draft, and the very first pick is of course it's Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Who the hell doesn't pick Roman Reigns? And who's the second pick? Of course it's the other champion.
And they say
Big E.
Now this is what's shocking. Roman Reigns got drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah, right?
I'm like, really?
Did you honestly think that we were going to let you turn the belt back to red?
I was like, it's like, what was I supposed to think? I'm like, oh no, he got drafted to SmackDown. I thought he was going to NXT.
Just dumb. Yeah, I thought he was going to NXT. Oh no, it's dumb. It is. It's just dumb.
Like, Big E on Raw. He's the champion for Raw. I never saw that one coming.
What? So I don't know. I mean, look, a lot of the choices I thought were fine. It makes sense to me why you would sit there and get Roman Reigns and Big E for the brands that they're the champions. But then Charlotte Flair comes over.
She's like, actually, I'm the Raw Women's Champion, but I want to be on SmackDown.
Yeah, which means that
she has to lose that title.
She has to lose the title to somebody. It's either she's going to have to lose it to somebody, or they're going to just freaking have her and Becky swap.
That'd be so dumb.
And so here's what I see, because Bianca Belair got freaking drafted to Raw. So what does that mean? That means I guess Bianca Belair is going to have to sit there and freaking,
go beat Charlotte Flair. It's like if you beat her, take the title back to Raw, and that's it.
It's either that or, if they're going to switch it, which I think that they're going to do, then that means that, Bianca Belair has to win the match between the triple threat match between Sasha Banks, her, and Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Which gives her the championship back, and then she can sit there and swap it, unless on freaking Monday Night Raw they freaking move Becky Lynch to Raw.
Yeah.
Where Bianca Belair is over there waiting,
and then they just have her beat her somehow, and it's kind of confusing.
Or they do that stupid thing that they did with John Cena, where he got drafted to SmackDown, then right back to Raw, and freaking put Charlotte Flair back on Raw because they're like, oh yeah, we fucked up. You know, yeah, you did. It's Raw Women's Champion is now permanently on SmackDown. Are you stupid? Yes, you're stupid. You know, but whatever. I don't know why that upsets me.
They better not do the same thing they did with the tag team titles. They just have Adam Pearce sitting backstage like,
Just
okay, swap them.
So what does that mean? That freaking of the tag team champs, the New Day can say, "Oh, I'm 6-time SmackDown tag team champs, and now I'm freaking 5-time Raw champs."
Now Becky Lynch should be like, I'm 2-time Raw champ now.
Yeah. That just all of a sudden means that I don't get that. That's dumb to me.
You got to earn it.
But whatever. So yeah, SmackDown goes along, and I mean the matches weren't really that big of a deal. I mean, I guess Jimmy and Jay didn't get drafted yet, so I assume that they'll get drafted on Monday, because why would they break up the tag team? I wouldn't like the story if they broke up the Bloodline.
No.
I think I'd be disappointed if that happened. If the Bloodline freaking just broke up because of the draft. That would upset me.
Yeah.
They didn't move any. I mean, they what did they? Didn't they bring RK Bro to? They brought RK Bro to Raw.
Yeah. Because of the Raw Tag Team Champions.
Yeah. So that means that the SmackDown Tag Team Champions have to go to SmackDown.
Unless they're going to be like, no, you can go to Raw. Like Charlotte Flair.
And that wouldn't make any sense at all whatsoever. Unless you're unifying the champs, which they're not, that makes no sense to me.
Nope.
So it's like, does anybody really think that the freaking the Bloodline is going to break up? I don't think so. New Day is back, so I guess they got a chance to freaking fight, the Bloodline again.
It was like, yeah, for the title, I guess.
I mean, like I said, the freaking SmackDown Tag Team Champions they're stacked. Yeah. I like the tag team scene on SmackDown. It is stacked.
Yeah.
They got a lot of dudes,
But on Raw, it's like you got almost an AJ and RK Bro, and that's about it.
That's about it. You got to make new tag teams, which is I think what they did with freaking Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. But I mean, at the same time, it's like you had to make this one because you fucked up.
Yeah.
Again, WWE, quit fucking it up.
Before they released all these wrestlers, they had so many tag teams. Now they have like none on Raw.
There's like barely any on Raw. RK Bro can hold it for as long as they want.
Yeah.
But whatever. That's besides the point. So I mean, SmackDown's looking like the marquee show to be on.
I know. It's like Roman Reigns is still there, so it's gonna stay as the top show.
Yeah. Which I'm fine with. Brock Lesnar's back. I know they're having a match at Crown Jewel. I know it's coming.
When I first saw him, I thought he was going to beat him. Now I'm not so sure. I'm kind of 50-50 now. I'm like, well, because I saw like other people who were getting drafted to SmackDown, like Drew, and I'm like, isn't Roman going to like fight him too?
I mean, because like Drew already fought Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Beat him. Now he's going to freaking, he has fought Roman Reigns, but we already knew that nothing was really on the line. There was no stakes. Both of them are champions. He just made one champion lesser than the other one. So, which I'm fine with. I'm not upset with that. My thing is that, I see it as, Brock Lesnar loses.
Yeah.
That's how that's how I'm seeing it now.
I'm kind of seeing it as like maybe Drew's going to beat Roman. It seems like he might.
I think we've got to wait for that the Rock to come back. I think that it's been a rumor for a long time that Dwayne wants to come back and fight Roman. And I think that's what we're waiting on.
I was like, after that match, then it's like, okay, now whoever, now he can lose, I guess.
That's what I'm seeing, but I don't see Brock doing it. As much as I thought so in the very beginning, I've changed my mind. I don't think so anymore.
Yeah, like in the very beginning, I thought too. I'm like, I really thought so. Now I'm kind of like, is it really gonna happen though? Because I'm starting like think not so much.
I don't think so. Not so much anymore. So, but I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe he'll stand on the top rope and it'll break.
Maybe. I don't know.
And then he'll get speared.
I was actually kind of hoping to see the Demon King, Finn Balor, or just Finn Balor in general. I was hoping to see him just to see what's up, but maybe next SmackDown.
Or maybe next Raw. I don't know.
Who knows? We have no idea, but I am liking, Finn Balor more and more. And I didn't hate him. I like him more now.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. Tonight, I guess Raw comes on for us, and I'm just interested in seeing what's going to go down.
Yeah.
So is Paul Heyman going to be freaking left for dead on Raw? No.
Well,
no.
We'll see. Probably not.
Paul Heyman is fucking going to stay on SmackDown. I don't hate Paul Heyman there. I don't think he needs to be there anymore because Roman Reigns can talk, and so can the Usos. And I mean, the story is fine. I like Paul Heyman. I'd rather him not go, but I don't really need him.
I think that we kind of just need him for this Brock Lesnar story.
I think for now, yeah.
But like maybe after this, we don't need him as much.
Well, because what I'm upset with, and what I've been upset with for a long time, is that The Rock has never come back to freaking fight Brock Lesnar. The Rock fought Brock Lesnar in Brock Lesnar's first year, I think, and he took the championship from The Rock. And I always wanted him to go back and get that title back or beat Brock Lesnar's ass, and it never happened. And I don't know why. And they've even mentioned it before. Why do you think The Rock hasn't come back? And I'm like, don't upset me. Okay? I've been wondering that my whole life too, okay? The Rock freaking got his ass whipped and went right to the Scorpion King. I don't know. It irritates me. It does. Maybe, you know what? I bet I'm just guessing. Because Black Adam comes out next year.
Yeah.
Right? And I guess The Rock is going to be freaking promoting that movie. So he has to go to WrestleMania to fight Roman Reigns. Just a guess. I'm just guessing. I don't know. I don't know anything.
I'm also just guessing that, like, with this whole Brock Lesnar thing, that maybe it'll end with Paul Heyman. I mean, Brock Lesnar will probably lose, but it'll probably end with Paul Heyman, like, leaving the bloodline and just joining Brock Lesnar, like, on Raw or something. I mean, I'm just kind of guessing because it seems like he might be on his way out of the bloodline. Maybe.
I mean, they are raising a lot of doubt, so, who knows? I don't.
He could be on his way out. I'm guessing, like, if he is, though, then, he's got Brock Lesnar there to be the client for, to be the advocate for. Because I don't think Roman Reigns really needs a talker anymore. He's got it.
I mean, I don't think he needed a talker at all, really, in my opinion.
At least for the heel. When he was a heel, he doesn't need it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I think Roman Reigns is doing great.
Yeah.
Nothing else to talk about on that. That's all I got for Raw and SmackDown.
And then I guess, yeah, that's really it. I mean, I guess there is the thing where we had Bianca fight Sasha Banks again.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. It's fine. I'm not upset with it.
Like everyone that showed up, like on SmackDown, like in the main event, they were all heels except for Bianca. She's like surrounded by heels.
Well, it's like 2 heels. Who else was there? Oh yeah, that's right. Charlotte Flair showed up at the end, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, kicked her with a freaking high heel shoe in the face, and didn't even take it off. And I'm like, well, whatever.
I mean, maybe that's how they're gonna start their feud so that she can get the Raw title back to Raw.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but I am interested to see what's gonna go down.
Yeah,
I'm assuming Becky Lynch is going to Raw. Yeah. I'm guessing. I have no idea. I'm guessing, y'all.
I don't know. She doesn't seem to be getting booed too much by the crowd.
Becky?
Yeah.
That's because they want her to be a face because she was awesome as a face.
Yeah.
Like Drew McIntyre, awesome as a face. A person who does bad things but is not a bad guy.
No.
Where Roman Reigns, like, he's hit so many guys in the nuts, he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
But whatever. But that's all I got.
Yeah.
I think we're going to need to talk about this movie, Black Widow.
Yep.
All right. So here we go.
It's time.
So, in my opinion, this movie should have come out like 5 or 6 years ago.
Maybe like right after Civil War, since that's when the movie takes place.
Yeah, like literally right after Civil War. I remember thinking for the longest time it was after the Winter Soldier. I was very wrong because the very first scene it will show Black Widow. Well, not the very first scene. I'm sorry. Actually, the very first scene kicks off with this young family outside in 1995, and they're learning about science and stuff like that, and blah, 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 blah. Dinner gets ready. Young father comes home, talks to his wife that the thing that was supposed to happen is happening. Okay. And it's on its way, and they got 1 hour before their problem starts. So they get in the freaking car, they pile everything up, and they go. Right?
Yeah.
So father pulls a vehicle into an airport, and he leaves the car. He gets out of the car with a rifle, and the wife and the kids, they get into a small Cessna, and they take off, or they're trying to take off. All right. More hijinks and drama ensue. And the plane eventually ends up taking off, but not before the mother gets shot through the front window of the Cessna.
Yep.
Okay. They land, I assume, somewhere in Russia because everyone's speaking with a Russian accent now when they weren't earlier, if I can remember properly. And the mother is taken to be patched up. The father debriefs the commanding officer, and the two girls are split up and taken to different areas. Okay. And then the movie opening thing says Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Black Widow. And immediately I was like, okay. I need you to thrill me. All right. I read no reviews about this. I didn't see nothing about this. I was like, I want to see the movie. That should have came out, 6 years ago. So I kept trying to have that in my mindset the entire time.
It's like, I need it.
This movie was supposed to have come out 6 years ago. Imagine if it came out 6 years ago. How would I feel at that time? The answer is at the end of the podcast.
So keep listening.
Yeah, we'll be right back. And we're back. Isn't that right, boy?
That's right.
That's right. So, back to this movie, okay?
Black Widow.
Yeah. So, like I say, it starts a little bit after Captain America Civil War. And Black Widow, played by Scarlett Johansson, she's on the run, apparently. She's on the phone with a clearly older than he's supposed to be at this point in time, Thunderbolt Ross, played by William Hurt. All right. Thunderbolt Ross in Captain America Civil War, which did come out a number of years ago. He's supposed to be old.
Yeah.
He looks old. But in this movie, he is considerably older.
He's older than he's
even though it's supposed to be like the next day. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
I don't know. They just say, I forgot my wrinkle lotion.
Well, I don't understand. See, Disney is known for freaking de-aging, people with CGI.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they de-age him to look like he did in that movie? They did it with, the family in the very beginning, who ends up, we'll talk about them more throughout the movie.
They did it with Nick Fury and Captain Marvel.
Yeah. So it's like, why couldn't you de-age him here?
That's creative. I don't know.
I don't know. So, like I say, he's apparently hunting her for some reason. After the events of Civil War, which the question is, why aren't you hunting Captain America? Why aren't you hunting everybody else who managed to get away, the Winter Soldier, during this time?
He's like, well, you see, that's not their movie. It's hers. It's her movie, so I have to hunt her. Only her.
Only her.
We have to send like an entire army.
Yeah. But, of course, they don't find her. She's good at masking her location, but whatever. So next scene, this other widow, she's clearly a widow, because she's wearing basically the same thing that Black Widow wears. But she's blonde this time, executing a mission where they're tracking this woman.
Blonde widow.
Yeah, blonde widow. That's what I wrote here. The blonde widow. And she's watching this woman. The woman, makes her, and then that woman runs. So Blonde Widow gives chase, catches up to the woman, and that woman and Blonde Widow fight.
Yep.
Okay. During the fight, that woman receives a fatal stab, and while she's dying with her dying breath, she hits Blonde Widow with a red mist. This red mist wakes up Blonde Widow, and she grabs the rest of the red juice and removes her Apple AirTag, and she leaves.
Yep.
Right? So, we now see another scene where a character is looking at a screen. Now, us comic book fans should know that this is the Taskmaster.
Yeah.
All right? Now, I like the Taskmaster.
I love, Tony Masters.
Yeah, that's his name. Antonio Masters or Tony Masters. Right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mr. Masters.
Yeah. No big deal. We know who he is. We know what's going on.
Dude, he was in the Spider-Man games. Well, the first one. He even got to be in the Avengers game.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's a popular person that we all like, and we were excited to see him finally be live action
in this movie.
And
we'll get there.
Yeah.
So later, Black Widow is enjoying a nice evening in her RV because she's off the grid, and she's watching TV, and then the gasoline in her generator runs out.
Yeah.
So at some point in time, she managed to get a package that is inside of her Jeep or a vehicle, or whatever it was that she was driving. So she decides to go get some more gas. On the way to getting some more gas, she's attacked by the Taskmaster.
Yep.
Now, the Taskmaster in this movie is meant to be like a Mr. X type. And I've seen this kind of character before. You don't remember when?
Yeah, I mean, Captain America.
The Winter Soldier, huh?
Yeah, is he literally like the Winter Soldier? Like, even like when he like crashes our car and walks slowly towards it, the Winter Soldier did that exact same thing to Nick Fury.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's the same thing.
It's the same character. Same thing. An unstoppable force who is dangerous and can really hurt the main hero.
And every time he does footsteps, it's super dramatic, and like his face is all covered up.
Yeah. And, it gets even crazier because, the Taskmaster's abilities are that he can look at your fighting style and copy your fighting style as it's happening.
Yep.
That's a cool power, right?
Yeah.
I would like to see that in this movie. Because there's no way that they could sit there and they said a line once. Oh, the Taskmaster copies your abilities right when you do it. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'd like to see how they're going to sit there and make it look like, he's copying their ability because Black Widow has a shield and a sword.
Yeah.
Right.
It'd be cool to see him like do Spider-Man's moves or Iron Man's moves or, any of their moves. It'd be cool.
Yeah. And, because he's copying Black Widow's fighting style, which obviously uses a shield and a sword. So, Taskmaster ought to know, what exactly she's going to do before she does it. Now, does that mean that just because he can copy your moves that he should be able to win?
No.
I can copy all of The Rock's moves. Doesn't mean I'm going to fucking whip ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Copy Roman Reigns moves doesn't
because Matt Riddle freaking does an RKO doesn't mean that the person's gonna fucking stay down.
Yeah.
But whatever, I like the Taskmaster. I do.
Yeah.
But this Taskmaster was irritating me from the very get-go.
I mean, I remember when Taskmaster got to ride a motorcycle with Deadpool.
Yeah. So whatever. The Taskmaster is clearly there not to take out Black Widow, but to actually get the red juice that she apparently doesn't know that she has.
The juice.
Yeah, the juice.
The juice.
It's red flavored.
Strawberry juice.
It's red.
Cranberry juice.
What flavor is red? It's red. That's the flavor. Red.
Cherry flavored.
I don't give a shit what flavor you want to call it. The flavor's red. So whatever. Black Widow fights Taskmaster, gets away by, getting knocked off of a bridge. and she swims to shore. You would think that somebody who's an unstoppable force, like the Taskmaster is supposed to be here, would just jump in the water and go get her.
Stupid is that when I saw this happen, I was thinking, oh yeah, it's like when Stone Cold got thrown off the bridge by The Rock.
I didn't think that, but I'm thinking it now.
I don't know why I thought that immediately when I saw that. I'm like, oh yeah, it looks just like it.
I didn't think that, but I am thinking it now. I just was like, shouldn't the Taskmaster go and give chase?
He's like, no, I got to stare.
I got to just stare angrily at the water.
I mean, you can't even see my expression.
Yeah, you see my expression because it's not there, but whatever. So, it is what it is, but whatever. So with some clue, Black Widow goes to some safe house to do what?
Just, I don't know.
And from my understanding, it seems like she has no idea what she's doing.
Yeah, I don't even know what she's doing.
Like, I have no idea why I'm here or what I'm doing. At least I never got that the first time I watched it. I don't know what happened. She just was into the safe house, and I assume that she went there to be safe, at the safe house. But, what happens? It ends up being Blonde Widow is there.
Yep.
Okay, and her and Blonde Widow, they fight. And we then learn throughout the fight that this Blonde Widow is actually her, quote, sister, Yelena Belova, who in comics, we know, is the White Widow.
Yeah.
So okay.
I don't know why now we can call her the White Widow.
Yeah, we're gonna call her the White Widow, not Blonde Widow anymore. Okay. So she's played by this chick named Florence Pugh, and I mean, I like her. I like her as this character. I think she's fantastic.
Yeah.
I liked her a lot. She was meant to be funny, and she was funny to me.
Yeah.
And you can feel the trauma that she has. I liked her.
Yeah.
But Black Widow freaking, whips her ass. And I don't know why they're fighting. They know who each other is, but
they just look at each other like, you don't want to do this.
They're talking to each other, so nobody's under mind control at this point. So it's like, why are you girls fighting? Doesn't matter.
I guess why not?
Yeah. Go ahead.
We need another fight scene.
Yeah, we need another fight scene. So once this ends, other Black Widows, come in, and they start giving chase to Black Widow and White Widow. Okay, fine. I mean, it looks cool. White Widow has the juice for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And that's when the Taskmaster shows up. And of course, Taskmaster looks cool, does cool things, runs and gives chase, even shoots arrows under cars, then the arrows blow up.
Like Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And when he did that one thing to where he blew up the car underneath and threw it, that looked exactly like what the Winter Soldier did.
It looked exactly like that. It wasn't any different at all.
I was like, this guy is basically, he's like the Winter Soldier.
This Winter Soldier all over again.
It's just that he has different powers.
Yeah. And look, he does other cool things, but, Black Widow and White Widow get away. They're not meant to have their final battle here, obviously.
Nah, not with the amazing Taskmaster.
No. But this movie is starting to give me the vibes of what I've been calling the new Marvel method. The new Marvel method is that there's always something that happens where there's serious tones. You're meant to feel the feels of something being serious.
Yeah.
And then somebody tells a joke and ruins it. Joke is funny, but you're like, aren't I supposed to be upset?
Yeah.
Aren't I supposed to be sad because I got drawn into the characters?
Nah, bro, it's funny.
Yeah, we're gonna throw a funny joke in there.
They're all those children died. You want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
It's all those children died. But I remember a kid who got hit in the face with the black water or something.
Yeah, it was so funny. It reminds me of WWE. The Fiend broke this person's neck, and we feel very sad, and they're going to a medical facility nearby. But next,
we want to see Riddle ride a scooter,
right? That's what it is. I see that every time.
Hey, bros.
It catches me off guard because it's just like this is not supposed to be what it is.
Or what they like every time there's always someone like in just like an accident, they just get destroyed. They're like, but next.
You know, I don't know. It's one of those things. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot, actually.
I don't know. I don't think DC's doing this, are they? I don't think so.
I think they just want to stay sad the entire time.
Yeah,
Unless it's, freaking, Suicide Squad, which was they actually didn't do that in Suicide Squad.
like they told jokes, but they didn't really like take away from.
Yeah, they didn't take away from the serious moments when they did happen.
Yeah,
in my opinion, because I rolled tears in that movie, and that's a good testament to the movie. This movie is not that movie.
So it's like, what DC needs to do is just keep making movies like Suicide Squad, like written that.
Well, that's the problem. They need to be written well, because if they sit there and keep going too far into that, which I think is going to be the next whatever movies, it's going to freaking be movies that sit there and freaking are meant to be jokes and make fun of superheroes, and I don't want that. I want the seriousness of what the Death of Superman movie that we reviewed last time.
Yeah, if you're making fun of the superheroes, might as well just watch Robot Chicken,
right? Might as well.
So I can watch them make fun of Aquaman forever.
Yeah. But back to the movie. Okay, so for me though, it's like I don't know what Black Widow is supposed to be doing. I don't know what's happening here. Like she just fell into a freaking, adventure, and she's got to sit there and kind of deal with it. It's not like I need this to do that type of thing, or like this is going to be destroying the world. Or she doesn't know any of this at this point in time at all.
She's just like, I'm just here for the ride.
Yeah. It just feels like she's a side character in her own movie. The movie's really about White Widow.
Yeah.
And Black Widow is just like a side character, in my opinion. That's what it looks like in this movie.
To me, it feels like Black Widow's like, I'm here so you guys can care, I guess.
Yeah. So White Widow, she's looking to see if she can figure out where the Red Room is, right? And the best way to do that is to find somebody who's actually in contact with. His name is General Dragov, right?
Yeah,
General Drakov,
or I as I call them, Dragov.
You called him that?
Yeah,
that sounds stupid.
Well, when I first saw it, I'm like, General Dragon, General Dragov, General Drakov.
Okay, fine.
I just knew when I first saw him, I'm like, it's General Dragon.
Okay. So
I don't know why he when I saw him, I kept thinking, oh, it's like Stryker from X-Men. I don't know why, because he had the glasses, I guess. I don't know.
I guess, but he's just Russian.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's the thing. White Widow needs to find General Drakov, and so they find where Red Guardian is, who's actually being played by David Harbour, who was Hellboy in the last Hellboy movie. And Red Guardian is, where is he? He's in prison, I guess, in Siberia. They don't tell us where any of these places are.
I guess he's meant to be Russian Captain America, right?
He is exactly Russian Captain America.
It's funny because I just saw the anime movie about Russian Superman.
Oh, Red Son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, now I get to watch Russian Captain America.
Yeah, well, that's what this guy is, but he's like, at least in Red Son, that is still kind of Clark Kent or Kal-El.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas this guy is a completely different person.
He's like, it's not even close to Steve Rogers.
Not even close. So apparently it's been, I'm assuming he's been in prison for 21 years. They don't tell us how long he's been there, but I guess he's in Siberia sharing stories of his quote unquote glory days. Whatever, it's fine. It's a fun scene. Whatever.
About how he fought Captain America.
Yeah, and he fought him to a standstill in the 80s when Captain America definitely wasn't alive in that time, or out of unfrozen in ice at that time.
Yeah, and then someone says he was frozen, so he breaks their arm.
He was frozen during that time. And whatever. I tried the Russian accent. Okay, shut up. So whatever. He ends up getting a package in the mail, and then he opens the package. It's a toy. The toy has an earpiece in it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised they actually sold that as like an actual toy for the movie.
I wouldn't be surprised either. They probably would. They might. I don't. I mean, if they haven't yet, I don't think they will. Right?
What if the head actually pops off, and then you can actually like I don't know have a bomb. I don't know.
Right. But it is what it is. He gets a thing, and who's on the other line of that fucking earpiece? It's Black Widow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and her thing is that they have to give a daring escape to the Red Guardian. The escape is fine. It's all of its CGI glory. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. It's not a terrible scene.
Just avalanche and yeah.
Yeah, it's not a terrible scene. But when the scene's over, for me, the movie slows way down.
I don't know. For me, like it's good action, but it's like I've kind of like seen it before.
Yeah, we've seen this. We've seen this. And so Red Guardian completely finds his uselessness by saying he doesn't know where Dreykov is. So they got to go find somebody who might know where Dreykov is, which happens to be the mother, who is her name is Melina, or as us comic book fans know, she's the Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Another villain for Black Widow. I mean, all these people that are here for this family were villains of Black Widow.
Even the Red Guardian.
Yes. So, but here they're making them family.
It's like, you're family, you're good guys.
Yeah. So she's on a pig farm making pigs move.
Yeah.
Doing stuff.
Pig.
Yeah. Pig. So the family itself here, it's the dynamic is that some people want to still be the family, others don't give a shit, and others understand that this is a mission.
And
others don't care.
And I'm like, all right, so I guess we're just gonna watch them sit around for a while.
Look, and a lot of these table scenes I'm okay with. The Avengers had one. The first Avengers movie had a scene where like all the characters were just sitting there talking, and I was fine with that. But it's like this one was boring to me.
I know. You should have had Roman at the head of the table.
Then it might have been a good movie.
Yeah. So if he's ever in a movie, he should this should be like one scene where he actually, when there's like a family scene, he should sit at like the head of the table for like one scene.
I think he would anyways. He would just do it anyways.
Yeah.
So later on, after everybody's kind of separated for a bit, Black Widow's talking to Iron Maiden, and Iron Maiden says, I've already called, the Red Room, and they'll be here anytime now. And I'm like, you're betraying them for what reason?
They touched my pig.
Yeah. So I don't know why she's a betrayer. So people are brought to the Red Room, and you learn like right as soon as they get on the ship that the Iron Maiden is not a betrayer. She's actually a good guy. She wants to destroy Dreykov for what reason?
I don't know. He's evil.
Like, why does I get why the Red Guardian wants to do something, but like he kind of seems in this movie to kind of be over it.
He's like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, but also freaking, Iron Maiden seems to be kind of over it, and Black Widow doesn't really care as far as we can tell. She doesn't care at this point.
I think the only person who really cares seems to be White Widow.
White Widow.
Because, one of her friends died because of this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it's like, what is this? I don't really understand why we're freaking having this fight here.
Also, I gotta say, when I saw the Red Room, I kept thinking, the helicarrier from the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, we knew what it was. It's a flying fortress. Every single freaking one of these movies has to have either, if it's not a flying fortress, it's a helicarrier. If it's not a helicarrier, it's an underground base. If it's not an underground base, it's a secret underground base. So, it's a number of things in this movie that they pulled from other movies. And it just feels like they just really didn't do their homework with this movie.
No.
That's what it feels like. So I wrote down here, and I'm just going to read this. I have to take a second here to wonder, why is this taking place? Okay. So it really seems like at this point in the movie, no one is really personally wanting to help. So it just seems like this particular movie is just for no one.
It's just here because you asked for a Black Widow movie. So
Yeah,
there.
I asked for a Black Widow movie like 5-6 years ago.
Marvel's like, oh yeah, just put this together. There you go.
There you go. Okay, so Black Widow is in front of Dreykov and she's talking to him, and he asks the Taskmaster, who happens to be there, to leave. And uh, at this point, she's like, "Hey, you'd be safe leaving leaving me with the Taskmaster, or leaving me without the Taskmaster." Whatever the fuck she said.
It's like, you'd be safer with him here, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's what she said. That's what she said. I don't know how I couldn't get there, but that's what she said. And that's when Dreykov's like, "Oh, take off the Taskmaster, take off your mask."
All right, let's see Tony Masters.
Yeah, it's actually Antonia Masters, or whatever the hell Dreykov's, if his name's really last name is Dreykov. But that's not the point here. Taskmaster is a girl. Now I've read the comics a long time, and I don't recall ever seeing the Taskmaster be a girl. Okay. Now, not to say that there can't be a character who's like this, but if, in my opinion, what was the point of changing the gender of this character? Wouldn't it have meant more in the last scene where, a guy who's been chasing this woman around, beating her ass the entire time, every time they see each other, where that woman beats this guy's ass? Wouldn't that have made for a better thing?
Like Nemesis and Jill.
Yes. Didn't Nemesis get his ass whipped by Jill Valentine?
Yep.
That was a great scene. Didn't freaking, Claire Redfield take out freaking, all the, like, Mr. X and freaking William Birkin?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were like, yes, this is awesome. So why can't freaking, Black Widow take out Taskmaster? I don't get it. And the fact that they sat there and changed the gender of this character makes no sense to me.
And I think what's worse is, like, I was excited to actually see Taskmaster, and then I saw so I guess they ruined live action Taskmaster. So I guess that's done.
Yeah, and she's the daughter of the general, because I guess Black Widow freaking
tried to kill the general.
Tried to kill the general and put a hit out on her.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it probably would have maybe meant more if, like, there was no hope that, like, she actually did kill her. Probably would have meant more, because you've been like, that's one of Black Widow's biggest mistakes.
Either that, or it could have been a boy that she killed.
Yeah.
Right.
And then his name was Tony Masters.
None of this did not need to go down the way that it did, and I was very upset and frustrated with the fact that it did.
I don't know. It kind of reminded me of, like, the Mandarin whole thing.
Yeah.
Where he's like, it's like, I'm an actor.
It was irritating. So whatever. I don't like this character at all. The character, even if they kept the character, which they did, as a woman, this character didn't talk.
No.
At all. And Taskmaster, I remember, likes to talk.
A lot.
Yeah. And, it's like Deadpool all over again on the Wolverine movie.
Yeah, it is. I'm like, so, yeah, so you ruined Deadpool, you ruined Taskmaster.
Yeah, Marvel did that. Both of them. So whatever. General Dreykov monologues. Turns out that he attacks, or he doesn't attack, but like he does attack her, but she can't attack him. Why? Because he gives off pheromones chemically somehow, and the pheromones mean you can't attack him. And it makes me wonder: does that work for all Black Widows, all people?
What is this guy? Poison Ivy?
Whatever the case it is.
Poison Dreykov.
So Black Widow keeps trying to sit there and freaking get punched in the face by Dreykov, so that Black Widow's plan is to get punched in the face by him, so that way it can serve her nerve endings in her nose, so that way she can then attack Dreykov.
But here's my thing. When I saw him punching her, like, I was like, is there something wrong with him? Is he okay?
Yeah, he looked like he was about to die.
Yeah.
But whatever. Don't care. So he can't get the job done. Fine. Whatever. Her plan was to get punched in the face, for a while, and hope that he could punch her hard enough to break her nose, which he didn't, of course. So what does she do? she slams her face into the table and breaks her own nose. And I'm like, okay, maybe she's that mess of a master that she didn't realize that she would not knock herself out doing that. But whatever, she did it.
I mean, I guess it was cool.
It was cool. I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, all right, fine, whatever, no big deal. And then as soon as that happens, other Black Widows come in. Now, here's Dreykov's plan. Okay. Dreykov's plan is basically he's got all these widows in a particular, like, that he controls all over the world, and that the goal is that if he wants to have one thing done, he can have that done because he has a widow in place who can sit there and make a change happen, right?
So basically like Hydra.
Basically Hydra.
Except, without the whole helicarrier shooting missiles at people.
Yeah. That's his whole entire plan. Okay. So I'm wondering, if he has this ready to go, why hasn't he started doing this right now?
Especially when there's no Avengers to stop him.
Yeah, and he says, "Oh, I also have an Avenger on my side." I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean? The Avenger who's a war criminal? Like, anyone's gonna sit there and listen to her right now? She's a enemy of the state, of the world, really.
Yeah.
She was hiding because of that.
But he's like, no, she's on my side.
Yeah, an Avenger's on my side. No. Okay? Ridiculous. But whatever. So other Black Widows come in. She gets her ass whipped for a while until she finally throws some of that red juice around, and then, boom, they're all free.
The red juice, free the widow.
Yeah. The other widows. Okay. So once that happens, she, puts her nose back into place because it was broken there in this entire time.
He's like, just put it back to place. It's
now,
fine.
I've not had my nose broken before, but I've had it hit pretty damn hard before, and that son of a bitch hurts. And I've had 2 black eyes, which is the maximum amount of black eyes.
Unless you're TN.
Yeah. TN?
Yeah.
TN.
From Dragon Ball.
Oh, that TN. Oh.
Or TN Shenhan.
I thought you meant like the letter T and the letter N.
No. No. I probably should have said Ten Shenhan.
Yeah, you should have said that. Because that fucked me up. But whatever, she pops her nose back into place. No black eyes. No, didn't even mess up her makeup.
Yeah.
Nothing.
What happens when you're a master of breaking your own nose?
Yeah, she's done it before. Whatever. Fine. So, whatever.
I just like how every time like a superhero gets like stabbed or something, they just pull a knife out and just start running around like normal. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, so you're fine.
It's like, it's just blood.
You didn't have to show me that at all. But whatever. So Taskmaster apparently has been fighting Red Guardian and Iron Maiden, and somehow fucked up and got herself trapped inside of a freaking cell.
See, this is how you know it's not the real Taskmaster.
Okay, explain on that one.
Oh, the real Taskmaster wouldn't do this.
No.
The real Task, like this. I mean, I saw her use some of the Avengers abilities, but I kind of wanted to see like more. Maybe that could have redeemed the character, but it didn't happen. So I still hate this character.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but whatever.
I'm like, this is Taskmaster.
So now look, Black Widow feels bad. She blew this girl up when she was a little girl, and now this woman is an older woman who has all of her abilities and some of the Avengers abilities as well. And she's locked in a cage. And at this point, Iron Maiden has freaking started making the fortress hit the ground on its descent to crashing into the ground. Okay, cool. That's no big deal. But the Taskmaster's still in there. Now, one of 2 things could happen. You could leave the Taskmaster in there and just let the Taskmaster die. Or you could, figure out how to get her, get that microchip that's in the back of her head that I was told was controlling her. So Black Widow went with the ladder and freaking opened the door. And they fought for a split second before they got separated because the final battle isn't here.
No.
Okay. So Black Widow. It's a cool CGI scene where Black Widow is trying to get off the freaking flying fortress, and everybody else is also trying to get off the fortress as well because it's crashing. Eventually, it gets to the point where freaking the big bad, who is Dreykov, gets killed by White Widow because this is her movie.
I mean, that just confirms it.
This is her movie. She set out to do a goal. She did the goal.
She still would be the one who actually like cared what's going on here.
Yeah, because she was the only one who cared what was going on here.
It's like this probably should have just been her movie.
It should have been her movie, but
just call it White Widow. But Black Widow's here too.
Yeah. Whatever. So while White Widow is falling, Black Widow, kind of like falls in the air to catch her on her with a parachute and gets the parachute to go off.
Yeah.
Okay. While this is happening, Taskmaster, who has found out where Black Widow is also now chasing through the air.
Like Mr. X.
Yeah, like Mr. X. An unstoppable force. And she lands, and they both land, and then they decide to go ahead and fight. The fight lasts for a couple seconds. And it ends up with Black Widow getting the mask off of Taskmaster and then hitting her with some red juice. Okay, now I was under the impression that Taskmaster is under coercion from a microchip that's implanted in the back of her neck.
But this red juice right here, this
just snapped her right out of it.
This red juice is basically like vibranium from Black Panther.
I don't think it's like vibranium, but it because vibranium was meant to solve every problem. You have a broken back, vibranium. You need that freaking weapon to work, vibranium. Things like that.
Yeah.
Whereas this right here is like, hey, you're under mind control, red juice.
So
we got it.
I'm just wondering, like, how come like she never like tried to make more of this to whenever someone's under mind control, she can just use it.
Well, she didn't use all of it.
Yeah.
She used, as far as I can tell, she used like 3 of them. Right, the movie used 3 of them, and there was like at least 6. So so.
But I guess it is a prequel, so they they don't remember this stuff later.
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna forget about this juice.
I was irritated by it, but whatever, it's done.
It's over.
So the movie is on its wrap-up scene. All the bad guys are dead. And Black Widow is standing in front of the other, the Red Guardian, Iron Maiden, and White Widow, and she's under the impression that she's just going to go ahead and stay there and wait for Ross, who, first of all, we don't know where this is. Second of all, how did he get there so fast? And third, I thought he wasn't able to track her, but I guess he is. So she's like, I'm just going to stay here and wait for them to come get me. I know who it is.
And fourth, I don't know. I'm just wondering, like, how did he know?
I don't know how he knew.
I'm surprised that, well, I guess I would say, I'm surprised there's no Avengers, but none of them want to care.
At this point, none of them could care, because they were off doing their own thing. Scene ends. Thing says 2 weeks later. What's 2 weeks later? We actually freaking get Black Widow talking to one of her friends, and
oh yeah, and White Widow gave her jacket, so
yeah, I don't care about that. But this guy gets her a Quinjet, and the Quinjet, I'm assuming, is going to be used to get Captain America to go to the raft that's, I guess, in New York, to get the other Avengers that are in the raft out of the raft. So Falcon, not Ant-Man, Hawkeye.
Why did you just leave Ant-Man?
I don't know. They said in the Ant-Man movie, he was let out of the raft on good behavior.
It's funny. So did Captain America just go over? He sees Ant-Man. Not you.
But whatever. End credit scene. So I guess White Widow's going to go attack Hawkeye in the Hawkeye TV show that comes out later on.
Yeah. Fine. He's not even the one who killed her.
Yeah.
See, I thought when they said that, I'm going to show you who killed him, I thought they were going to show like Red Skull or something.
Yeah.
I was like, Red Skull.
But it's like, I'm like, he inadvertently killed her. Like, it wasn't like he was like trying to kill her. They were actually trying to freaking stop each other from killing each other, but she jumped off of that ledge. She's responsible for her own death. But Okay, maybe we don't have all the facts because they weren't there on Vormir.
Yeah.
So whatever, fine.
So I guess, White Widow will be in Hawkeye.
I'm assuming she's gonna be the bad guy there
Watch
for him.
watch the Hawkeye show's gonna happen and like she's not even in it.
Right.
Like, nah.
Nah, son, she's not in this. Fuck that. So this movie for me was very inconsistent, had a lot of inconsistencies that we talked about. And I mean, it wasn't terribly boring. It just was whatever.
I thought you were gonna say it wasn't terribly boring, it was boringly terrible.
I guess that's your opinion. What are you giving this?
Like a 2?
Yeah, for me, this movie gets the highest 2 that I can give a movie.
Like, it was good, but not great.
I don't think it was good. I think it was like mediocre. Like I thought we were better than this.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Because when I say good, not great, I mean like in the middle, like mediocre.
Like not even that. Like less than mediocre. It's like I thought we were better than this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like small yoker.
Smallioker. Yeah, I don't know. I have to give it a 2.
Yeah,
It just wasn't really a great movie. It's really a White Widow movie, not the Black Widow movie.
I have to give it a 2 because the two characters are both widows.
Yeah. I don't know. But that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's really it for me.
You were going somewhere. I was like, nah, I'm not going there anymore.
Nah.
I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. So, 2.
So,
but
don't make more and more movies like this. Like,
stop it, Marvel.
Like Shang-Chi better be better. I mean, I better not watch that movie and see the man or be like, I'm an actor.
Well, and the movie's been out for a while at this point, but we haven't seen it yet. I'm trying to stay away from all of it. So
yeah,
but we'll see it. But I guess on to the next one
when it's ready.